Don't respond. Don't respond. You ain't even peeped when the intro came on with the Teddy Pendergrass. That was that black vibe. Don't do it. Don't go write a 8-minute verse that, I know nigga Yachty, I know you want to get that money. You ain't wrong, nigga. Keep buying them big houses, but I'm gonna tell you this like a real nigga. Ain't no more BBLs, ain't no more ass fillers, ain't no more cheek fillers.
The hype was real. Fans were buzzing for the lyrical showdown of the decade, Drake versus Kendrick Lamar. At first, it seemed all love between these two giants, trading features on each other's tracks like brothers in the game. But what started as playful competition twisted into one of the fiercest rivalries hip-hop has ever seen. Everything changed on March 22nd, when Kendrick dropped a bomb inside Future and Metro Boomin's album, We Don't Trust You. His verse had no safety net. He came straight for Drake and even Cole with venomous lines like, yeah, get up with me, F-Sneak dissing first-person shooter, I hope they came with 3 switches, and he didn't stop there. He doubled down with the cold shot. Think I won't drop the location, I still got PTSD. F the big 3, it's just big me though. That wasn't just a verse, it was a declaration of war. Drake hadn't fired back with bars yet. But just 2 nights later, on March 24th, during his show in Sunrise, Florida, he couldn't resist throwing some sharp words Lamar's way. The tension in the air was electric. Fans knew this was about to spiral into something much bigger than just friendly competition. But to really get why this clash hit so hard, you gotta rewind to 2011. That's when Drake transformed from a controversial newcomer into a certified superstar, lighting up the charts with Thank Me Later. After dominating that run, the question was burning. Could Drake take things even further, or was someone like Kendrick waiting to snatch the crown? Take Care was Drake's loud answer to every critic who doubted him. The album that proved he wasn't a one-hit wonder. He tapped into the same moody, emotional vibe that made So Far Gone legendary, but this time he leveled up by pulling in heavy names and spotlighting new talent. One of those fresh faces? A hungry Kendrick Lamar, still buzzing off the underground fire of Section .80. At the time, people were whispering that Kendrick was about to be the new king of the West Coast, and Drake gave him a massive cosign with a slot on the Buried Alive interlude. Kendrick didn't waste that moment. He spit lines like, blame it on Mr. Ovo, the reason why I'm breathing all the vanity I know. His confidence was sky high, fueled by the boost from Drizzy's stage, and Drake wasn't done helping.
A lot of people ask me how I'm feeling. I'm gonna let you know how I'm feeling. And listen, the way I'm feeling is the same way I want you to walk out of here feeling tonight about yourself. Cause you know how I'm feeling? I got my head up high, my back straight. I'm 10 toes down in Florida or anywhere else I go. And I know that no matter what, it's not a on this earth that can ever me in my life. And that's how I want you to walk out of here tonight.
He later revealed on 4 p.m. in Calabasas that when folks suggested he take an R&B singer on tour, he said, nah, and instead put Kendrick and ASAP Rocky on the bill. That move alone showed just how much trust he had in Kendrick's rising star. The duo linked again for Poetic Justice on Kendrick's major label debut, Good Kid, M.A.A.D. City. The track hit number 26 on the Billboard Hot 100, a certified smash. But here's the twist. That was the last time Drake and Kendrick ever joined forces on a track together. Why? Because once Kendrick's confidence skyrocketed, he flipped the energy. On Big Sean's now infamous Control, Kendrick detonated a lyrical bomb, calling out not just Drake, but J. Cole, Meek Mill, Big K.R.I.T., Whale, Pusha T, ASAP, Rocky, Tyler, The Creator, Mac Miller, Big Sean himself, and Jay Electronica. He spit, I got love for you all, but I'm trying to murder you guys. That wasn't just a verse. It was a warning shot to the entire rap game, and especially to Drake. Kendrick came in swinging on Control, rapping, trying to make sure your core fans never heard of you guys. They don't want to hear not one more noun or verb from you guys. It was a straight-up challenge, and the industry felt the heat. But when Drake landed on the cover of Billboard that same month, he brushed it off like it was nothing. He told them, "I didn't really have anything to say about it. It just sounded like an ambitious thought to me. That's all it was. I know good and well that Kendrick isn't murdering me at all, in any platform. So when that day comes, we can talk about it again." That was pure confidence, almost daring Kendrick to try. But Kendrick wasn't backing down. At the 2013 BT Hip Hop Awards, he and his TDE crew stormed the stage over Mobb Deep's Shook Ones beat, sending subliminal shots Drake's way with the cold line, "Nothing's been the same since they dropped." The jab was crystal clear. He was calling out Drake's album, "Nothing was the same." Drake wasn't about to let that slide. He clapped back on the language, explaining later why he felt he had to plant his flag against the Compton assassin. He admitted, "The whole thing turned into an issue when I was dropping an album, and that verse was all anyone could talk about. So what was I supposed to do? Pretend we're all good?" But even while defending himself, Drake gave Kendrick his flowers, saying, "I've never said he's a bad guy or that I don't like him. I actually think Kendrick is a freaking genius." Drake later admitted, "I had to stand my ground. And then I realized I was being baited and I wasn't about to take the bait. It's like Michael Jordan doesn't need to play street ball to prove he's got game. No disrespect, but I'm not about to let this shake me. I feel great. And really, there's no issue here but the truth." By then, the tension was undeniable. The two started firing subliminals on wax.
White boy, white boy. Crody, Crody, Crody. Do they even have Wi-Fi on that cargo plane? He may not even heard this yet, but look, white boy, I know we not friends, but let me give you this advice, because you ain't got nobody around you. Or you ain't got no real niggas around you. Let me just put it like that. Ain't no real niggas. Stop. Don't respond. Don't respond. You ain't even peeped when the intro came on with the Teddy Pendergrass. That was that black vibe. Don't do it. Don't go write a 8-minute verse that, "I know, nigga, Yachty, I know you want to get that money. You ain't wrong, nigga. Keep buying them big houses." But I'm going to tell you this like a real nigga. Ain't no more BBLs. Ain't no more ass fillers. Ain't no more cheek fillers.
Kendrick went straight for Drake's jugular in King Kunta, dropping the infamous line, "I can dig rapping, but a rapper with a ghostwriter?" What the F happened? The crowd knew exactly who he was talking about. Drake clapped back in the game's 100, spitting, "I would have all of your fans if I didn't go pop and I stayed on some conscious set." That was a slick way of saying, "I could run your lane too if I wanted." But Kendrick wasn't done. On Dr. Dre's Compton project, he unleashed more fire with Dark Side / Gone in Deep Water. His bars in Deep Water hit like a threat. They liable to bury him. They nominated 6 to carry him. They worry him to death, but he's no vegetarian. The beef is on his breath, inheriting the drama better than a great white. This is life in my aquarium. Those weren't just bars. That was war poetry. So how did this feud spark up again after years of low-key shade? Ironically, it started with what looked like a peace move. Last October, Drake dropped his 8th album, For All the Dogs, linking with J. Cole on First Person Shooter. In his verse, Cole called him Drake and Kendrick, the big three of hip-hop today, a nod to unity that ended up blowing everything sky high. On First Person Shooter, J. Cole rapped, "Rapping love when they argue the hardest MC, is it K. Dot, is it Aubrey, or me? We the big three, like we started a league." The track exploded, racing straight to #1 on the US singles chart, Cole's very first #1, and Drake's 13th. That number tied Drake with Michael Jackson himself for the most #1 singles by a male solo artist, a record-breaking moment that had the whole industry talking. But the celebration was short-lived. Just a week later, Taylor Swift's Cruel Summer bumped them off the top spot, and while it looked like the hype had faded, Kendrick was sitting back, watching closely, and he was not impressed. Fast forward to March 2024. Future and Metro Boomin dropped their joint album, We Don't Trust You. Hidden in the track list was a nuke, like that, featuring an uncredited verse from Kendrick Lamar that sent shockwaves through hip-hop. Kendrick went off, tearing apart Cole's Big Three claim with the vicious line, "No Big Three, it's just Big Me." He downplayed Drake and Cole's hardest verses as nothing more than a light pack, then crowned himself Prince to Drake's Michael Jackson. That wasn't just rap, that was a power grab. The verse only got nastier, climaxing with Kendrick vowing to bury Drake and Cole's dogs in a pet cemetery, a dark, clever flip of Stephen King's horror novel, and a brutal shot at Drake's album For All the Dogs. The crowd couldn't believe what they were hearing. It was disrespect wrapped in pure artistry. And here's the kicker. Kendrick's verse landed on a Metro Boomin track, the same Metro who produced most of Drake and Future's 2015 classic, What a Time to Be Alive. Their bond later soured after the promised sequel never happened, and insiders say that broken deal left scars. So Kendrick's ambush wasn't just lyrical, it was strategic, using one of Drake's old allies to stage the perfect sneak attack. By 2022, Metro Boomin had officially cut ties with Drake, scrapping him from a track and even hitting the unfollow button on Instagram. That move sent fans buzzing with rumors of bad blood. But did Drake roll over and call it quits? Not a chance. At a packed concert in Florida, he sent a fiery message straight to the haters. Drake told the crowd that people kept asking how he was holding up, and his response? His head was high, he was standing tall, and there was nobody on this planet that can take me down. The arena erupted. It was pure defiance. But the drama didn't stop there. Just 2 weeks later, J. Cole stepped right into the crossfire with his track 7-Minute Drill from his surprise album Might Delete Later. Cole wasted no time, spitting, "I got a phone call. They say that somebody dissing. You want some attention? It come with extensions." He's still doing shows, but fell off like The Simpsons. Then he really twisted the knife, breaking down Kendrick's discography, calling his debut album a classic, but branding Mr. Morale and the Big Steppers tragic. Cole even laid it out plain. "Your third was massive, and that was your prime. I was trailing right behind, and I just now hit mine. Push come to shove on this mic, I will humble him." That wasn't just critique, that was smoke. But here's the twist. Cole quickly had second thoughts. Just days later at the Dreamville Festival in North Carolina, he called the diss a mistake in front of thousands of fans. He apologized, gave Kendrick his flowers, and promised to pull 7-Minute Drill from streaming platforms. Cole admitted he'd take whatever consequences came if Kendrick chose to clap back, echoing a heavy sentiment from his 2013 track Crunch Time. Only thing worse than death is a regret-filled coffin. Would Drake really keep this feud alive even when the rest of the game was cooling off? Absolutely. Like the ultimate rap instigator, he poured gasoline on the fire. On April 13th, he dropped Push-Ups, Drop, and Give Me 50, a track full of cheap shots and slick disses aimed straight at Kendrick Lamar. Drake mocked Kendrick's height, calling him a 5'4" midget, and painted him as nothing more than a record label puppet who had to cling to pop stars for relevance. He sneered with lines like, "Maroon 5 needs a verse, you better make it witty. Then we need a verse for the Swifties." It was pettiness turned into a diss record. Drake wasn't done. He took aim at Kendrick's entire status in the rap hierarchy, taunting, "Pip Squeak, pipe down, you ain't in no Big Three. SZA got you wiped down, Travis got you wiped down, Savage got you wiped down." And to twist the knife, he even name-dropped Future, The Weeknd, and Rick Ross as artists who had supposedly left Kendrick behind. It was Drake's way of saying Kendrick wasn't even in the conversation anymore. But here's where things went left. Rick Ross wasted no time firing back. He dropped Champagne Moments, a track loaded with wild claims, accusing Drake of cosmetic surgery, talking nose jobs, fake abs, and even a Brazilian butt lift. The allegations were outrageous, but they spread like wildfire online. Things got so ridiculous that Drake's own mom texted him to ask if the rumors were true. Drake posted their convo on Instagram, turning the beef into a circus sideshow. And just when it seemed messy enough, Kanye West jumped in on April 21st, and he sided with Kendrick. That move threw even more chaos into the mix, dragging another heavyweight into an already nuclear rap war. Kanye stirred the pot even deeper when he jumped on a Like That remix, throwing darts at Drake's major label deal. hinting that Drizzy got played in his own contract. He didn't stop there either. You clowned Drake and J. Cole's lyrical skills with the cold line. Y'all so out of sight, out of mind, I can't even think of a Drake line. The jab hit hard, especially coming from someone who used to be Drake's mentor turned rival. Meanwhile, Drake wasn't letting up. He dropped another diss, tailor-made freestyle, mocking Kendrick as being too scared to release music in the same week as Taylor Swift's The Tortured Poets department. To make it sting, Drake used AI to recreate the voices of two of Kendrick's idols, Tupac Shakur and Snoop Dogg. Fans were stunned, but the move backfired when Tupac's estate stepped in and demanded Drake take the track down. He had no choice but to pull it from his socials. Then came Kendrick's nuclear response. At the end of April, he dropped Euphoria, a 6-minute lyrical assault named after the HBO series Drake produces. This wasn't just a diss, it was a full-blown demolition job. Kendrick torched Drake's image, calling him predictable, manipulative, and a habitual liar. He even doubled down on Rick Ross's insult about Drake's fake abs and questioned his parenting. But Kendrick's sharpest dagger was pure, raw hate. He flat out confessed, "Let me say I'm the biggest hater. I hate the way that you walk, the way that you talk. I hate the way that you dress." The Venom echoed DMX's famous interview, where he admitted to hating Drake too. Drake's reaction? Instead of dropping bars, he posted a screenshot from a movie, a cryptic move that only added fuel to the mystery of what he was plotting next. Drake tried to brush Kendrick's Euphoria off as nothing more than teenage drama, even mocking it by comparing the track to the emotional poetry from 10 Things I Hate About You. But make no mistake, Kendrick's 6-minute rant was no high school diary. It was a calculated execution, hitting Drake with insult after insult. Kendrick ripped into everything. Drake's Canadian roots suggesting Tupac would be rolling in his grave, the never-ending rumors about plastic surgery, his messy dating history, and even his role as a father. Nobody was spared. It was venom stacked on venom, and let's not forget the title itself. Calling the track Euphoria wasn't just clever wordplay. It was a shot aimed directly at Drake's role as executive producer on the HBO series. The show has faced heat for its portrayal of young girls, and Kendrick's decision to link that criticism to Drake in the middle of their beef was a masterclass in psychological warfare. The hip-hop world went crazy. Critics and journalists praised the energy of Euphoria, saying Kendrick delivered something timeless, pure, raw rap. Even though he took his time to fire back, the timing made it hit harder. Drake's push-ups and tailor-made freestyle were decent swings, but they didn't carry the same nuclear punch as Like That or Euphoria. Industry insiders even crowned Kendrick the new boogeyman of hip-hop, the guy everyone fears when he grabs the mic. And it's easy to see why. 6 minutes, no hooks, no filler, just cold-blooded bars. At its core, this is what a rap battle is supposed to be: ruthless, raw, and unforgettable. At the end of the day, the winner of this feud should be judged by skill, wit, wordplay, and flow. And while some critics noted that Euphoria didn't have the flashiest production or that one crushing knockout bar, Kendrick's humor, venom, and fiery delivery made the track unforgettable. He sounded like a man who'd been holding back for years, finally unloading everything in one relentless 6-minute stretch. Kendrick even leaned into the role of villain, proudly declaring himself the biggest hater, and fans loved every second of it. Drake, of course, has been here before. His 2018 clash with Pusha T set the standard when Pusha dropped The Story of Adidon, one of the most brutal diss tracks in rap history. That track didn't just sting, it exposed Drake's secret son and even used a photo of Drake in blackface. It was a career-shaking moment that raised the bar for all future Drake disses. But Kendrick's Euphoria played a different game. He didn't air out hidden secrets. Instead, he made it clear how deeply he despises Drake. It wasn't about shock value, critics, or gimmicks. It was about pure, unfiltered hate. Lines like, "Let me say, I'm the biggest hater," captured that raw energy perfectly, and critics couldn't get enough of it. Meanwhile, Rick Ross decided to cash in on the chaos with his own Drake diss, Champagne Moments. And of course, Ross turned it into a billboard for his brand. The video, released just last week, was simple but effective. Ross perched on a stool in front of a classic Chevy Bel Air, surrounded by his booze brands. Between smoking and spitting his verses, he kept tossing jabs at Drake, calling him white boy, hinting at a nose job, and once again, mocking him with surgery rumors. All of this while zooming in on bottles of Luc Belaire champagne and Bumbu rum, plus slipping in promo for his 3rd annual Rick Ross car show. It was part diss, part commercial. Proof that in hip-hop beef, even the smoke gets monetized. Ross's video landed just a week after Drake clapped back with push-ups, a track aimed squarely at Kendrick Lamar and Metro Boomin, but with a few slick shots fired at Ross for jumping into the fire. Drake rapped, "Can't believe he's jumping in every song that made it on the chart he got from D Drizzy," before dismissing Ross with the cold line, "Spend that little check you got and stay out of my business." The message was clear. Ross was just a side character in Drake's beef with Kendrick. But Ross wasn't about to stay quiet. In the Champagne Moments video, he fired back in his own way. After Drake shaded him about allegedly using the diabetes and weight loss drug Mounjaro, Ross flipped the insult into comedy, grabbing his belly on camera, laughing it off, and turning Drake's diss into a joke. That move was classic Ross, mixing humor with swagger, never letting the shots rattle him. As the dust began to settle on one of the most headline-grabbing feuds in years, Ross found the perfect lane. He turned Champagne Moments into more than just a diss record. It doubled as a business play, a promo reel for his liquor brands, his luxury lifestyle, and even his annual car show. He reminded everyone that in today's rap game, beef isn't just about bars, it's about branding too. This saga showed how far hip-hop has evolved. What used to be raw lyrical shootouts on wax are now multimedia spectacles, blending diss records with product placement, social media theatrics, and personal myth-making. Ross's clowning contrasted Kendrick's razor-sharp hostility and Drake's cryptic energy, but that's what made it all so unforgettable. Hip-hop beefs have become more than just battles. They're full-blown storylines, shaping culture while selling records, tickets, and even bottles of champagne. And this chapter proves that in rap, controversy will always be currency. So what do you think? Did Ross play it smart, or should he have stayed out of it? Drop your thoughts in the comments, smash that like button, share this video, and don't forget to subscribe. I'll catch you on the next one.